Hey YouTube, what's going on? It's Chris here. Want to bring you guys a little update on Litecoin. We'll be talking about Litecoin on the 1 hour. So guys, what I wanted to bring to you today is just be very careful and be very protective of your capital, because if you run out of capital essentially by holding one of these cryptocurrencies, then you can't even play the game if it does end up going down even more than they already have. So what I want to point out to you guys, we're going to be looking at the Fibonacci, and we're going to look at it on a macro level here. So guys, last year we went from $4 all the way up to about $371, and this was on Coinbase. So guys, what you're seeing here, we've seen a retracement all the way down to the 886, which is right here, and you can see that's where we kind of had that hammer candle right there at the 886 at 4608. And guys, what I'm here to tell you is we need to be protective of our capital, and the reason for this is we're still in a very downtrending market. So if you can see the moving averages here, it's like a raging river, how they've just been guarding and blocking from us going up. Okay, so the moving averages that I have here that I'm showing you, we got the 12 EMA in purple, we have the 26 EMA in green, we have our 50 moving average in yellow, and then we have, I believe it's our 20 moving average in red. And all those are up above right now, acting as resistance, guys. So that's a really big deal. Okay, let me pull this in a little bit closer for you just so you can see this, because it's a really big deal. And as of right now, guys, when we saw this hammer candle and then we saw some follow through, we were starting to think, okay, maybe could that be a bottom? But we came back up again and we hit this 12 EMA, and we're getting pushed back down again. And guys, you don't want to try to fight or buy when you're seeing all these moving averages overhead, and they're just acting as that raging river, just not allowing us to go back up right now. And we also have this overall trend line that we have not broken out through yet. So am I buying Litecoin right now? I'm not buying Litecoin right now. And the reason I'm not buying Litecoin right now is because we have not gotten over these moving averages yet, and we have not gotten through this trend line here. So typically when you break through the trend line, then you'll run. Say we were able to get through this, we have a potential then to run through all this gap here. Obviously you're going to have resistance here, you're going to have a resistance here, but in terms of the Fibonacci, you have a lot of room to run once we can break through this. And I believe that's the 786, guys. Let me take a look. Yes, so that'd be getting through the 786, then you have a good amount to run from $82 up to 144. But now is not the time to put money in when you see this downtrend like you're seeing right now. Could this, guys, go all the way back down to $5 in terms of breaking through this 886 and come back down for a full retracement before we start the next bull cycle? Anything can happen. I never thought in a million years, with all the good news, all the technology, everything that's been coming out, I never thought we would drop this low. One moment, guys, I got a phone call coming in. Sorry about that, guys. Had a lot of doctor's appointments, different things like that, so it's just been crazy. But you can see this overall trend line here, and we have not broken up through it yet. See, when we came down here, we came up, we came close to it, got pushed back down here, we came up to it, got pushed back down here, we tried again, didn't even get close, came back down. So what I'm looking to do, guys, I'm holding money in cash right now, and I've been waiting till I see a clear bottom, till I see the moving averages change, till we get a higher high and then a higher low, and then I'm going to enter again. Okay, obviously we have long-term positions that we'll hold, different things like that, but in terms of making an entry right now, I believe it would be trying to catch knives if you were to try to buy this. Yes, it's a great price overall, guys. We believe it's going to be much higher than $56.38. That's inevitable with only 84 Litecoin. What it's done, you've seen this in the past, guys, but essentially this was like that pump and then that dump, and when you see the pump and dumps, they can essentially go back to where they started here at like that $4 range. Anything could happen, guys, and this has been on good news with our price this low. So think if some terrible news came out, we could see it at $25, $10, and then that's the opportunity when you have that cash sitting there waiting to basically have an opportunity of a lifetime to buy a ton of them for $10, $15, $25. So in the long run, it's actually good, and it gives us a buying opportunity that most of us have never experienced, because a lot of us weren't in here at $4. Like I said, guys, I got into the market, it was last August, so it was somewhere right around in here. I know I bought this little dip here when it got down to $36, but this is where I was in. And we saw that take off, and now we've seen how far that it's retraced all the way back to the 886. So I just want to know what you guys are doing. Are you buying? Are you selling? Have you guys sold and are waiting to buy back cheaper? But all the trends, guys, we are still in that bear market. You can see the trend line we talked about, and then if you draw this one, here's another overall trend line. If you actually take it from the top here, like that, guys, and we'll even go to that one right there. So it looked like we were going to start to come out of it, but we didn't come out of it with power, and we didn't come out of it with volume, and that's when we came back down. So I really want you guys to pay attention to those trend lines. They're really important. You know, you can't buck the system. It is what it is. And like when I got into this, guys, I didn't realize how tightly Litecoin and all these other coins depended on Bitcoin in terms of the overall market, if that makes sense. I knew Bitcoin was its own entity and Litecoin and Ethereum and all this, but I didn't realize Litecoin would be so affected as it was by Bitcoin's price dropping, even with all the good news that Litecoin's had. So you got to keep that in mind, guys. And for future references, whenever we see something going straight up like that, don't have FOMO that it can go farther. Take your profits, guys. When you see huge volume in the RSI over 90, different things like that, take your profits. Wait for it to retrace fully if you want to get back in, but don't be afraid to take those profits, because riding this all the way out is very difficult for a lot of people, and it can cause you more emotional stress than what making any type of money could be worse. You know, there's people out there who's, you know, they're losing their hair, they're getting, you know, sick and having all types of trouble. Their families, you know, it's tearing families apart, all these different types of things because they didn't sell, you know, back in here, and now they're watching their whole investment. I mean, guys, an 886 retracement from the all-time high, that's losing 88% of its overall value. I mean, that's insane, but that's cryptocurrency. So you want these huge spikes, you got to deal with these long downtrends, and whenever you see something go straight up, it's going to get itself worked out. In the small frame or the large frame, it's going to happen. It's going to have to work itself out. Nothing can go straight up, and we've all learned that now. So you guys let me know, are you buying, selling, what's the deal, and or are you just hodling on, and what's your emotional state with all this? How have you been doing? How, you know, family and friends, what do you tell them? What do you say when I know everyone was getting all excited right here and thinking, you know, you can quit your job and everything, and now all of a sudden 8 months later we're looking at this, and this is a true bear market, guys, and that's what we're seeing right now. And this bear market's more extreme than in normal markets. Normal market, bear market, it could be 20-30%, but with the way that this rises and the way that this falls, it can retrace 100% before it goes on to the next one, if that makes sense. So you guys let me know what you're doing, and also look at this declining volume here. Okay, so when we had that massive volume, just like that, you see these big gaps here, guys, and until we break out of there strong and break that trend line strong, I wouldn't suggest putting much more money into it. I am not a financial advisor, but I want you guys to be careful and safe, because what if you put your money in at 56 and all of a sudden we wake up in 2 weeks from now and there was some bad news on Bitcoin or something, or at the end of September the ETF gets delayed again, and all of a sudden you're looking at a $18 Litecoin. You know, so that's where you do have to protect your capital, different things like that, and just really pay attention to it. And with market cycles, guys, I want to show you one more thing here, and this is even on the Litecoin chart that we've seen before. So let's see if we can take it back to the point. Let's see, was it right there? Guys, I'm just going to show you how these market cycles work. So let's see, was that the one I wanted? Let me just take a look here. If you could bear with me, guys. Okay, so this one here, when it was around $2 or whatnot, so you guys tell me this could definitely happen to Litecoin now, even though we've had more advancements, different things like that. So let's pull Fibonacci on this guy. So this was the spike that it had before. And look where we retraced to, guys. At one point we wicked down almost to about $3.02, and that was from a high of $55 all the way down. So that's how crazy these things move. And then you could see right here that we got down to the 886. So a typical retracement on this stuff, guys, is that 886, 786, sometimes a full retracement. But what happened after that, just like how we talked about market cycles, you see, we just kept moving, and sometimes, guys, it can last long. Do you see how long this is lasting? We're talking a couple years here. And then what happened? we took off and we completed a new market cycle. And even this one here, guys, look when we made this run. Okay, so here was the start of it. We pull up. Look at this. We wicked down through. We went all the way up to $94, and then we closed at, let me see here. Let me get my magnet off. It's giving me some trouble. Then we closed here. I know it wicked down, but we closed at $44. So look how big of a retracement that is in itself. And that's what I want to bring to you guys. Each one of these are big retracements. Here, another retracement. Here, another retracement. They're 886, 786 retracements. And that's what we're just dealing with now on a larger scale. But the moving averages are so important, guys. You can't fight this trend, and the trend is down. So that's what I want you to realize. You can see right here we are getting a little bit of support, but as soon as these crossed over, so it's been with the moving averages overhead since May 11th, guys. So May 11th, June 11th, July, and August. I mean, it's been more than 3 months in this just falling down, and we have not broken out of it yet. And what we had were these tweezer tops that's up here, which showed us that most likely that's when we were coming to an end. But we're not out of it yet, guys. We got to break out strong. So that's what I'm here to bring you. Y'all let me know what you're doing. And then, guys, I thought about one more thing here that I could show you. And this is just in terms of market cycles is why I want to show this to you. Let me see if this was it. Okay. So look at these market cycles, guys. And this is, I believe, Ripple mixed up against Bitcoin. But take a look. Let's do a Fibonacci on this. And this is how they happen, guys. So there's that. We'll take it up to the top. And look, we had a retracement down past the 886, and then what happened? And these moves happen so quick. And it completed another market cycle, and now it's moving down, and we'll see what the next one's going to be. But that's cryptocurrency, guys. These market cycles, take a look at that. See? And now typically the next market cycle will be larger than this one, and a lot of times like you saw with Litecoin. So this next one, you know, it could be up in here. But that's what I wanted to show you guys, that these market cycles, you go up and then you come down, and that's where we need to find out the importance of taking profits when it's staring us in the face. So God bless each and every one of you. I hope you have a wonderful day. Leave it down low. I just appreciate you guys being here and being part of this channel. It's been a blessing.